Hi everyone. All right, I'm going to explain a situation that happened to me just this past week. Actually took place after I was rear-ended by a 1-ton pickup truck, which totaled my car for the most part. But again, sitting out here on my porch on 76 acres, I was noticing, of course, what I always do in the sky and above with this really brightly lit orb looking thing. It was high up in the sky, kind of just hovering around, but I'm so used to seeing that, so I just kind of ignored it. I was actually busy trying to respond to some messages from some other people that had texted me about Morgellons disease, as well as some UFO sightings and certain things that were going on with their lives, and responding to that. And wouldn't you know, with my peripheral vision, I caught to my right side a very bright, that same bright light. It had to have been, and I'm sure it was, but I'm getting to that. So I could see this really brightly lit light that had now decided to come down to the ground level, and just out in the field between my trees, not even, I would say maybe 150 feet to 200 feet from where I sat on my porch. And I know how this works. So they know when you're recording, they know to avoid it. They'll either blur it out or they'll disappear just like that, like in thin air. And you guys know, and you've seen some of my footage, that I have indeed caught these things before. Many times I have. But this in particular night, I was kind of proud of myself. So what I'm learning is that when you're going to record these things, you almost have to play the same game that they are. And these things, by the way, I'm going to reiterate, they are the fallen. They're not your friends. They're not good. They wouldn't have to play hide and go seek and then never find, or find and then you can't show anyone if that were the case, if they were your friends, okay? It's a no-brainer. 1 + 1 = 2. We don't hide from people that we want to help. Why would they be hiding from us? So there you go. That's kind of that's simple math, really. So I've learned, and what I'm learning is to separate my bodily actions and the functions from what I'm thinking at the time. So I have learned to train my mind to put it on a different level of thinking, think about something different, but have my body respond with the actions of what I want it and need it to do at the same time, if that makes sense. So, you know, it's kind of like pat your head and rub your belly thing, like doing two separate things at the same time. Well, believe it or not, that is very, very possible, and you're capable of doing so with your mind and your body. You can separate the two. So real quickly, still with my peripheral vision, seeing it there, not recording it, so you know it's big and bold if I'm not recording, I chose not to ever look in the direction. Just not going to give it the attention, not going to look in the direction. What I chose to do was surprise it, to, you know, catch it before it caught me, so to speak. So what I did was I made my mind think of something different, which happened to be the trip that we're getting ready to do with a family reunion going to Florida. So I put my thoughts and my mind there, and my body, I put that on autopilot. Took my phone, swiped, hit the video button, hit record, and immediately pointed it at the same time. And again, this is not easy to do. You cannot keep it separate for very long. But the second I pointed it, I caught that light like instantly, but it caught me at the same time, where typically I couldn't have caught, especially as close as it was. That's usually not possible, and if it's possible, it's definitely not easy. And as y'all know, I have done it before by sheer luck. But so that night, I managed to catch it. Turn to it, you can see this light so bright between the trees, and flash, disappear just like that. And it does actually make its presence known throughout that video surveillance that I was running on it. You'll see it here and there. But basically what I'm going to do is show you what happened that evening, how the video is going to start out with the light there. I mean, it's not like you're going to see the darkness then the light. It's going to immediately start with, I caught the light right there between the trees, 150 feet to 200 feet from me. and then it disappears. So you're going to see all of that. But then what I'm going to do is show you what the daytime area looks like, so that you're not guessing and wondering, well, gosh, there could be a house back there, there could be this back there or that back there. Because I mean, trust me, we all want to, we want to think logically. There's got to be a logical explanation, and don't think for 1 second that people like us that are seeing these things aren't thinking the same thing. We're looking for the logical explanations. But here's the deal: we've all been alive long enough to know the difference between something that we have seen that's pretty much a common occurrence, or even if it's not common, it's logical, right? So if we're video recording, if we're taking our phones out or whatever we have to capture what we're seeing, that means this is something that we know in all of our years of living and waking up, breathing, going to bed, waking up again and doing it again, that this is something that's not normal. So, but I am going to do you all the favor, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that just, they'll take an image, usually not even videos, just a singular image. They'll contrast it so heavily to where you don't know if you're looking at a toilet bowl, your dog's butt, or a sink faucet, or cat fur. Like, it could be so many things. When one takes a picture, and I know because I did this at one time, not thinking, I'm like, how can they not see this? It's right here, like, hello. But then I realized, like, if I'm just taking this heavily contrasted image and I'm taking a wide range of it, where you're gonna have to really search for what I'm seeing in it, because it's not focused on just that little portion, or sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. But what I noticed with a lot of people is this is what they do, and then they get so upset when you're not seeing what they're seeing, you're not noticing what they're like, what's wrong with you? Can't you see? First and foremost, I want to say that I believe that this is spiritual warfare. This is very custom made for the individual themselves on many levels, but they can be caught with what they're doing. You just got to learn a few tricks, and you got to flip that and pancake it back to them, so to speak. So again, the reason I'm going about it like I am is because I want you to know what I was looking at. I don't want you to look out and see this dark, area and with the light lit up, and then think, well, I don't know what her property looks like. She could be in a neighborhood. She could have like houses surrounding her everywhere. I do not. I live on 76 acres. There are no houses around me, not close enough that you would see anything lit up and that brightly shining, okay? First and foremost. But again, I'm going to also show you a daytime video of what that area looks like during broad daylight. So you won't have any questions as to a light that you see in between the trees and distance-wise, what it appears to be. I mean, if you have depth perception, which most of you I'm sure do, and I mean, I know that there's some people that are hindered with that, but I mean, if you have any type or sort of depth perception that's kind of within you, you will clearly see in the daytime video that I will use to, compare, that this thing was way close. It was way low. It was hovering off the ground. It couldn't have been more than 20 to 30 feet off the ground in between the trees, so brightly lit up, not a small light, and there's nothing over there. It's just land. It's just land and pasture and cattle. And the cattle, I know for a fact are not carrying around lanterns or flashlights and stacking up on each other's backs, being like, hey, Moo, like, you hold this light. I'm gonna be down here in the bottom, and we're gonna build a pyramid and just shine this really bright light. I mean, that's also simple math. So, and I'm gonna reiterate, I am not one that has fallen into like these UFOs or aliens have come from another planet and they're here now and they're here to help us, or no Galactic Federation, no nothing. And if any of you are familiar with the Illuminati card game, made in 1994 by Steve Jackson, its inventor, but also based off of a trilogy by Robert Anton Shea, which was a book in 1973, you will know these things are on the card game, like along with Trump and the earshot and the Twin Towers being flown into, as well as the Pentagon, as well as the Boston Marathon bombing, as well as Maui and Hawaii with the laser things coming down, and little Miss Oprah and rock hard dummy head, like, that are a huge portion of what is known and called and is a cabal that has been in charge of this world and this country and pretty much the entire globe for many, many years. And this can go way back to ancient Egypt and Pharaoh and the Pharisees. And I mean, our technology was much greater and grander then, by the way. But I guess what I'm getting at is this country here did a flip-flop about the early 1800s. And everyone's thinking, oh, no, it is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, this country has been worshiping Satan for ever and a day. From the very get-go, and your money within God we trust. Not the God. That is your little God with little g's gods, okay? And the nuevo, whatever it says on the dollar bill, that stands for a new world order, okay? It's not rocket science. It is quite literally simple math on top of the fact that these were all of our founding fathers, which are not mine, by the way, not mine. They were Freemasons. They were Freemasons. It doesn't matter if they said they weren't or not, but you can go and you can actually dig into history and connect it. You can find the connection that all of them, every president, every presidential candidate, all of their little cabinet members were Freemasonry levels, and they have a certain bloodline. And this is a fact. This is not a conspiracy theory. There is no such thing as conspiracy theories at this point. It's a conspiracy, for darn sure it is. That without a doubt, your world is filled with conspiracies. But they're not theories, okay? And anyone with half a mind can figure it out and find the answers, because the answers are actually there. They're there. And your founding fathers, by the way, had slaves, and they thought that was okay. And there's no excuse for that, because we all have this thing called discernment and a heart and love, right? So, and you can ask yourself right now, would I have done that? And I'm pretty sure, I'm willing to bet, none of you would have had a slave. You know it's not okay. By the way, white people were the first enslaved. I'm going to point something out right now as well. I'm not white. I actually obviously was born into this awful place. So that means I'm a little bit of everything. I'm brown, black, purple, blue, and yellow, and everything mixed all over. As are we all, except for the ones that are truly from Mexico or, Panama or Venezuela or China. Like, I'm a mutt. So all you white people out there that think you're all high and mighty and something special, like, I'm the superior race. No, you're pretty much a Heinz 57 as well. But you know what? Here's a funny little story too. It's never been about race or color, ever, because we're all one. We're one race. We're the human race with the potential of failure, with the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. And one's whispering harder than the other, I promise you. That's the devil's always whispering harder on your shoulder. But again, that comes back down to free will. But there is no certain race. There's one race, the human race, and then you have your demons, your fallen ones. And then you have your angelic beings that I certainly know and believe are here. They're around us every day, and probably the only reason I haven't been harmed or put through anything more than what I've already experienced. Actually, that's Jesus Christ. He speaks, he's there, he lives in all of us. It's in our DNA. We were born with this. We were born with the discernment in us. It's just that when you go through the systematic educational system of, once again, the system, training your mind to only memorize what they tell you, repeat it, memorize, repeat, never thinking for yourself. Think about it. Any of you that went to school, which is pretty much all of you, you had to get vaccinations, you had to have the fluoride rinses, you had to have this, you had to have that. You had to be on a certain level, or you're getting a flat out F, or, F you, you're not worthy. Or, and we're all different bodies. We're different people. We're different genetic makeups. We're different different mentality areas, none being alike. But the one thing they expected us to do was to sit in a desk, raise our hands, don't speak unless spoken to, do not talk back, do not ask questions. And trust me, I spent 90% of my elementary and junior high years in the corner or getting swats constantly. My mom called into the office, your daughter, she's a daydreamer. All she does is daydream. No. I mean, sure, I could daydream too. You know why? I was ultimately bored. I knew what I was hearing was lies, flat out lies, complete lies, constant lies. And I was so sick of having to look at these books with these words in the print and go down it and down it and down it over and over. Not like, the whole day at school wasn't long enough for little kids, right? But then to go home and have your parents go over that list, and you got to memorize it and be able to pass that test. And I knew it was bogus. But so I was dubbed a daydreamer early on, which I am so proud of because I was smart. I know all of you can probably, if you're on this channel right now and you're watching this video, I guarantee you can relate to what I'm saying. There's no such thing as a black sheep, by the way. I mean, you're either a follower or you're not. And in fact, I've always said I'm a wolf walking against the grain, and I'm not playing their game. I've never wanted to play their game. I spent a lifetime trying to conform and fit in just so I didn't get in trouble or have, everyone look down on me. And then, as I aged and when I came down with this Morgellons disease, my family just immediately gave up on me thinking, yep, she just woke up one day, bat crap crazy. You guys, nobody wakes up crazy just overnight. Not a regular, wonderful mom, a loving person, a daughter, an aunt, a tax-paying citizen that just, goes through the motions, does her very best, and then just one day goes to sleep and wakes up like, I'm crazy today. That's bogus. And that also speaks for the reasonings as to why I was taken away at one time with my family being so warped-minded, and many of you out there as well, because they have had that it's mind control. And that doesn't even pertain to the MK Ultra part. That part's very real as well. And anyone that says that's not real, please, by all means, do your due diligence, because all the answers are online. Everything about what's coming down from the sky that you guys don't want to believe in, it's online. Look up the patents. Look up MK Ultra. Look up its author and do a little search on that. Go ahead and look up all of your, the Yankees are coming, people back in that era. And I'm not going to say too much about that, but you guys had to memorize that in school too. But Paul Revere, I mean, there's a Freemason. The information's there. It's at your fingertips now. That's the crazy part. We're at an era where technology can actually bite them in the buttocks. But you guys, you got to use it. You got to utilize it and understand that you've been told nothing but far-fetched lies for all of your life, every bit of your life, all your parents' lives, and those before them. And ask yourselves this question: why were there so many insane asylums everywhere, all over God's green earth? How did we populate the U.S.? They say we were, Christopher Columbus, which we all know better. I know better. We all know that's not what happened. There were buildings standing, big, strong, and tall, of the Roman Empire infrastructure for many, many years, hundreds of years before anyone on a little boat rowing or came over and discovered. So they all discovered this, and then ran our Native Americans off. And, we called them Indians because we thought we landed in India. You guys are falling for a bunch of BS. I mean, that's the stupidest thing we've all been told, and we fell for it. Okay? But I mean, your star forts, they've been here for thousands of years. We did not put those in. It wasn't built for battle and to keep us safe. And we're going to build this really unique star fort. Honey, let me tell you, those star forts are worldwide, with no one knowing another in each country. Think about it according to our, narrative. And yet, they're all built alike. Or how about the capital of Washington, D.C., which, hello, those buildings are everywhere, but nobody was rowing the boat to get over there to pick up those blueprints, were they? No, you gotta, think smart. Think smarter, not harder. You've been fed a wad of lies. Okay, I kind of got off on a tangent, but I'm gonna go back with what I was trying to tell you. I'm getting ready to play the video of what happened that night, and then I'm going to show you the daytime. Actually, I think I'm going to show you the daytime video first, then I'll play the nighttime, and then I might rerun the daytime again. We'll just see how it goes, but please, you all wake up. Because what we're seeing here, what I saw the other night, what I see constantly, aside of all the dreams and every other weird, strange thing that happens, I've always known. My discernment has always known what this is. It's because it's right here. I just know it. I didn't have to go sit in a school desk because they certainly didn't teach you that. It's something that, it's right here. It lives in every single one of you, and it's there. And all you got to do is just reach in, grab it, tap into it, and utilize it, because that's where your answers are. They come from Jesus Christ, God alone, and they don't come from any man sitting in a school desk telling you lies to help make the Bilderbergs and the Rockefellers and freaking Gates and all the other. It doesn't come from people like that are doing this to get rich, okay? Like I said, the whole Social Security card, birth certificate thing, that's a whole other thing, but don't forget, these are the guys that are in the cabal. They're ruling your country. It's real, it's black magic, it's witchcraft, it's demonic, and they're here. And I'm sorry, your votes don't count. And all of this publicity and this political BS is not only making me sad, but I know it's making my Lord sad. And this is something that could have been solved and been so simple, but it's the ugly human nature within us, and that demon that sits on one shoulder and the angel that sits on the other that sometimes gets overpowered by the demon. And but at the end of the day, we have free will and we have choice and we have a brain and a heart and we have discernment. We need to utilize it. So kind of that. Sorry, long-winded. So much to say, I swear. So many times I'm like, I'm gonna make this video on this or that or the other, because there's so much I could share. It's just, this world keeps us busy, constantly busy, to where we're just having to work ourselves to the bone, or something's breaking down and then you gotta, and that's Satan. That's Satan and his overtime work, that he makes sure he keeps these obstacles in our way. But we need to all learn to fight through that and put on our full armor, put that full armor of God on and be in the fight, because all the prophecies, almost every last one of them, have been fulfilled. And someone out there is going to be like little Mr. Smarty Pants or Mrs. Smarty Pants. One of you is going to say, nobody knows the time of the day. The Bible said they don't know the time of the day. Just stop. Stop the nonsense. How much longer can you say that and get away with it? It doesn't matter if you know the time of the day. Thank goodness you don't, or you'd be pooping your pants right now, honey, okay? And I mean that. Thank goodness you don't know the time of the day. But here's the great thing. There's a handbook that gave you all the signs to look for. And he did that on purpose. He put those signs, there'll be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars on earth, perplexity upon nations, and all the things that are coming. The seas roaring and the waves roaring and wars and rumors. They're there. They're right there written down. It's not rocket science. So before you thought, but no man knows. Nobody said anyone knows. But if you're wise at all, better get your crap together, because when you're seeing the signs, that kind of means, well, don't have a lot of time left. So you want to play till the bitter end. You may not last that long, is what I'm telling you. So is it worth taking the chance? Nope, probably not. Probably not, cupcakes. Sorry, God. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm human too at the end of the day, but this is frustrating. It's frustrating with the mentality and the trolls that come on these channels, and then the fact that our channels won't grow, and YouTube strike this and strike that, and censorship here and censorship there. You can say anything, like I was eaten by a walrus and the walrus gave birth to a mermaid woman, and that's okay, that can stay on. But when you tell the truth about biblically related things, or patents that are already in black and white writing about a sun simulator up yonder, or about, geoengineered weather up yonder, or about the heavy metals that are coming down that are being used to supposedly block out the solar portions. And I do believe it is, because our sun's given up. The sun is given up, folks. The sun is going bye-bye. The sun's done, okay? It's done. That would be the reason for a solar simulator. The hexagonal little shape that I've pointed out many times, that has to have many others, and other people say, well, look, it's like a blinking light bulb. Well, it is, but it isn't. It's a whole bunch of LED blinking bulbs. I spent like $78 on seeds this year, planted a garden, bought 6 tomato plants, had cucumbers, watermelon, cantaloupe, green beans, squash, cork bottle squash, you name it. You know what my garden produced this year? 1 tomato on 1 plant, 2 little tomatoes that rotted, fell off. They were like the size of a BB on another plant, none on the rest of the plants. I got one cucumber that was shaped like a Vienna sausage on crack, and a squash, the cork bottle squash only, that kind of just wrapped all the way around and kissed its own butt and died. So I've gardened my whole life. My gardens flourish. They're not flourishing this year. You're walking outside, you're dying from the heat. It is quite literally killing you. Radiation is everywhere. Everyone's like, look at the beautiful northern lights here in South Texas. Shush, just stop it already. Don't stop it with the beautiful, oh, look at the dog ear or the halo around the sun. Stop, it's radiation. It is not beautiful. It's not, and God didn't make that. It's going bye-bye. And you can't blame man either. This is not like global warming because humans did so many bad things. This earth was equipped to literally adjust and readjust and adjust again and even some more and get used to however many, because God doesn't make mistakes. He just doesn't. He just doesn't make any mistakes, folks. So it's nobody's fault but our own for being stupid and ignorant and listening to them on all of their BS lies. And remember, at the end of the day, this is a war for your soul. They're after your soul, guys. They don't care about your livelihood, your moolah. I mean, it'll help them for a little while, but do you really think they need your money? These banking systems, no, it's all about control. It's been about control from day one. All of these wars, those are a bunch of bogus. All of the wars were bogus. It was all about finding information, gathering it up, and keeping it away from the public because they're not going to allow you to know what some of those cuneiform tablets that were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls and elsewhere and other ones that have been dug up since then. They're not going to allow you this knowledge. And the only way you're going to find out the truth is by like not being a lazy butt, sitting in a pew thinking your preacher that won't even talk about Revelations is going to tell you the truth, by just getting off your own butt, your bootay, and digging a little, because time is short. And I wish with all my heart I would have figured this out a lot sooner, because I can't even possibly take in all the knowledge I need to before my time is over. And most of you out there, probably around my age, it's all already over half over, guys. And just think about how much time has flown by since, you were a child. Nothing is going to stay the same, but it's coming at us fast. And you have a choice of basically doomsday or eternity in bliss. And that's the only way I can put it. I mean, they all talk about burning in hell. We don't know how it's going to be, but what we do know is it's going to suck so bad. The most pain and misery you could ever feel, nothing compared to any sorrow and sadness we felt here. Losing a loved one, nothing. Hell's going to suck. Bad. So bad, you can watch your mommy and your daddy, and you might be like 80. You don't understand, guys. It's not time to be messing around and taking any chances and gambling with our eternity. And that's what we've all seemed to be doing, including myself. So trust me, I'm not speaking at like the pulpit of righteousness here by any means. I am a sinner. I am unworthy, and I got lots and lots of work to do. But please, wake up. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. The answers are there. And stop pointing fingers and saying, I read about Morgellons and they said that's delusional. Oh, UFO. Shut up. All you did was Google the very first thing that popped up, and you didn't put any effort into anything. So I don't want to hear your mouth ever. I don't want to hear your mouth. If your lips are moving and you type something and put it on my page, I'm simply going to laugh at you and feel sorry for you actually at the end, because your soul's in jeopardy big time and you got lots of work to do. We all do. A sin's a sin, right? But don't get here on this channel and try to do your little ha ha ha, she's so cray cray. You only look silly, you look foolish, you look childish. It makes you look like you're two. And it also definitely makes it obvious that you don't have any sort and type of intelligence up here upstairs that's working right now, that you're so brainwashed, brain warped, and mind controlled that you probably are going to forever be lost. And that's on you. You make the choice. I don't care. You want to leave the ugly remarks? That's fine. No skin off my back or nose, because I know where I'm going. I know what I'm working for. I just feel bad for you because you look silly, first and foremost, but you're getting nowhere with that real quick. And It's time to grow up. You guys are too old to be doing that crap. I mean, please, you just, wow. You want some Pampers? I could go get you a pack of Pampers if you like, but I mean, you're gonna be like needing them soon because you'll be crapping your pants here soon, I promise. So cross my heart on that one, for sure. Like I said, signs are here, so. All right, here we go. Forgive me for my windiness and long statements, and I have so much to say. Not enough time to say it, guys. All right, love you. Here we go. That's where that light was, right in here. I mean, that's all that I got over here. Doesn't make any sense at all. I see you. I saw that. You might as well show your damn self because that was very obvious. I mean, what are you guys doing out here? Huh? What and why? Go ahead and just show yourself again. It's just ridiculous when you're playing these games. No reason to be pansy about it. There's obviously something very strange is going on. I mean, not to me anymore, but I mean, I don't even know what's normal anymore, honestly. So, yeah. Just whatevs. Whatever. Something is biting the crap out of me. Like, that was the biggest flash I've ever seen, just sitting there still and then flashing at me. So, come on now. It's obvious you're there. Yep, there you is, right there. Told you so. But what are you doing is the question. What are you guys actually up to? I've seen you in the sky, on the ground, flashing bright red, then like a shooting star, bam, gone, and then back, just like that, so. Look, I am not stupid. I know you guys have been here. You've been here for a while, okay? Just little old me out here all by myself. I'm not very harmful, I assure you. Well, some days I wonder why I'm not. This is just dumb. But my Lord God did not give me a spirit of fear, and I know He is protecting me, and I rebuke you in the name of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's right. This is God's house. I'm God's child. I belong to Him. I see you. I saw that. You might as well show your damn self because that was very obvious.
The Lord gave us eyes to see, but we were all blind, ears to hear His word, but we ignored the signs. Prophecies unfolding right before our eyes, but we're caught up in the world and we're lost in its lies. Oh, what's become of us? We're drifting far away, forgotten how to pray in the chaos we sway. The cross, the sacrifice was given for our sake. If we can't listen now, then what's it gonna take? Discernment is a gift, but we choose to be deaf. Guided by our pride, in our sin we are left. Every word was written, every promise clear, yet we turn away, consumed by our fear. Oh, what's become of us? We're drifting far away, forgotten how to pray in the chaos we sway. The cross, the sacrifice was given for our sake. If we can't listen now, then what's it gonna take? Discernment lies within, a compass for the soul, to lead us back to truth, to make the broken whole. The love of Christ, the path He paved with pain. If we open up our hearts, we'll find Him once again. So let's fall on our knees, let's lift our voices high. Return to the truth and let go of the lies. The Lord is waiting patiently, His arms are open wide. If we seek Him now, we'll be restored inside. We're drifting far away, forgotten how to pray in the chaos sake. If we can listen now, then what will it take? Eyes to see, ears to hear, hearts to understand. Let's turn back to the Lord and take his guilty hand. In his word we'll all find the way. In his love we'll stand. Discernment and prophecy, part of his grand plan. Discernment. Where is your discernment? What's it gonna be? Where is your discernment? So let's fall on our knees, let's lift our voices high. Return to the truth and let go of the lies. We're drifting far away. Forgotten how to pray, in the chaos we sway. The cross, the sacrifice was given for our sake. If we can listen now, then what will it take?